Hi everyone, I wanted to share my reading journal. I am going to try and do a quick flip through. I'd just like to apologise for any dad breathing or anything like that. I've got a lot of respiratory issues, so sorry. Oh, and some of you maybe saw me making this blanket ages ago, last year. Yeah. So I printed this out, bookshelf, and every time I read a book, I colour it in and put it here. My goal for the year is 100 books, and I've read like 30 something already. I read every day because I'm not well, so I'm just at home and that's what I do. I made bingo. This has got various goals for the year, including my read 100 books and things like get houseplants, which I did, go to a craft fair, make a zine. And then there's other things like get 2 haircuts, because I always forget to look after myself like that, and go to the cinema 6 times. Then I also decided, well, I'm going to read a lot, to try and read around the world, because there's lots of countries that I've never read a book set in that country. So if the book is set in the country, I'll colour it in this sort of metallic green colour. So that's the world, there's Europe, and there's a list here. I've got one of those like mini receipt printer things for like memo printing, and I've used it loads in this. I've got these reading list bookmarks. I put the books that I've read on there and what I rate it. Put down recommendations. My book's falling apart already. I've only been going a month. I don't care. So every time I read a book, I will write a little review. Sometimes I'll put a picture of the author, and I'll make like a kind of visual representation of how I feel about the book, or an aspect of it, or a cover or something. These are the different books that I've read. This is A Prayer for Owen Meany. That one was In Memoriam, which I recommend. Or if you like having your heart crushed, The Feels. I read The Bee Sting. This book called Daddy, about millennials and their relationship with their fathers and being fathers. No, I don't recommend that one. Nettle and Bone, which was nice. I enjoyed that one. An Untamed State by Roxane Gay. I read Circe. I read The God of Small Things. I wrote a lot for that because I'm doing that with a friend in a book club. I read The Red Pony by Steinbeck. Parable of the Sower by Olivia Butler. I've been practicing drawing portraits as well. I read The Luminaries. This is a book about therapy, and it was just, oh, it touched some nerves. I read The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, which is great. I read The 3-Body Problem, which was interesting. A book about the menopause called The Change. It's about like women getting magical powers as they experience menopause. The premise was better than the execution, but it was decent. It was all right. I read this book about meditation by Tara Brach. I like her. I read Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Things start to get a bit more ambitious here in terms of what I created. So there's this big collage with some quite funny looking legs. I read Piranesi. I didn't understand it at all. I understood this quote afterwards. What do we do with the truth when it troubles all that we know? And I only feel like I understand anything about the book if I read that quote. I read Pachinko, which was excellent. Highly recommend it. I read The Nightingale. I really like my French Resistance collage and little documents and notes here, but I did not enjoy the book. I felt like it was overly sentimental. Sorry, my finger was in the way there. And yeah, my grandparents, all 4 of them fought in World War II, and my grandfather was a spy, and my gran was in Paris when the war broke out, and worked code breaking at Bletchley Park afterwards, and so I've got some feelings about that. I read The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. I had no idea that it was about impotence until afterwards. I feel like I need to read it again. I think this one's my favourite. I read The Trial by Kafka. It was really amazing. And I made some little like faux bureaucracy trial documents in here with my review. I read Wolf Hall, which is about Thomas Cromwell. My sister's an archaeologist. I'm British, so she loves a bit of history. It was interesting. I liked the page probably more than I liked the book, but it was well written. I'm just going to move because my back's hurting. I read Autumn. This was a really interesting book. I liked it. It was a Swedish author. I read To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. I know that everybody likes her, but I absolutely love her books. I don't think they're perfect, but I think they're very interesting and that she asks some really important questions. A Little Life is my favourite by her. This is about like it's like a multi-generational tale. It's very complex, but it was interesting anyway. I read Sophie's World, which was like super popular in the 90s. I remember seeing loads of people with it on the train when I was a kid in London. But I loved it as an introduction to philosophy and the history of philosophy. I did not like it as a novel. This is the second Wolf Hall book. Look at this shonky picture that I drew of Henry VIII. It's Bring Up the Bodies, not Bringing Up the Bodies. I did get to have fun making this faux letter though. Then I read another book about trauma-sensitive mindfulness. Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. Very sad. Highly recommend it. Black queer love story in 1950s Paris. Oh, this is the best page. This is the final Wolf Hall book. And I made this collage of Henry VIII that pops up. And there's another kind of faux Tudor letter there. And yesterday I read Home Fire, which I really recommend, which is about radicalisation of a young person in the UK who eventually goes to Syria to fight there, and his family, and different kinds of radicalisation and belonging and home and all of those things that come into it. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to say that like doing this has really motivated me to read a lot. It's really fun. It's fun to share with other people, and doing things like book challenges and book bingo and things like that, and the reading group, Bella's book club group. Yeah, it makes it a lot of fun. So anyway, I'm going to stop the video here because I'm getting really shaky, so I need to have a rest. Apparently this is exerting me somehow, but yeah, anyway, hope you like this. Bye.